Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode today. But before we get into today, make sure you guys subscribe to this podcast. And you guys really already know what to do, it ain't nothing new. But today, we're going to be talking about the day. It's a very emotional topic. But let me stop playing, though. Today, we're going to be talking about the day I turned off my humanity. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what? You're lying. That's not even possible. And that it's not possible for a human to do that, but you would have to be in my shoes and gone through what I've gone through to understand it. You know, life is really crazy. Like, it is really, really crazy. And you're probably wondering, why am I saying life is crazy? You know, sometimes when you grow up and you just see things that remind you of the things that you like, when you see things that remind you of things in your childhood, it makes you emotional. That's happened to me on many occasions. It's made me so emotional, and it's kind of hard for me to grasp at sometimes. You guys know. Um, but there's been days where I was like, okay, you just have to turn off your emotions, and maybe that's just for the best. And I did so. Turned it off. Didn't feel nothing for anybody. And I know that's probably a bad thing to say. Not feeling any emotion. I know that's probably like, that sounds really bad to say. But it's the truth. And low key, it's sort of like the best feeling ever, not having to feel anything or care about anyone. Because I was a very emotional type person. And it's hard to stay that way if you guys understand where I'm coming from. And it's a lot to deal with. Um, but I would say, when I realized that my reckless behaviors starting to get serious, I flipped that switch. I know a lot of people say, how can you turn off your emotions? A human can turn off can turn off their emotions. You can. You can do it. For some people, it's easy, and for some, it's not. But you can do it if you want to. The reason being is that it's all about, what would I say? It's all about your mental, state of mind. And like I said, you would have to go through things to understand how to control your emotions. For some people, that's really hard. For some people who've been through like really, really traumatic experiences, it may be hard for that person. But then you got some people who really do understand like how to control and how to be aware of, who they are, and how to manage their emotions as best as possible. Um, for me, I definitely, you know, try to do my best as far as for like, uh, I would say I do my best as far as for controlling my emotions. But sometimes, there are just days where I'm like, okay, I just don't want to feel, I don't want to care. Because emotions are so overwhelming. Like, they just control you, basically, to be real with you. If you just let them, it just runs your life. And if you're so overwhelmed and it's like so much, like, for example, everybody knows with legacies, you know, you could see from her through all the loss and trauma she's been through, it was a lot for her to deal with, you know? And for humans, it's just, whew, it's so many emotions that could just do so many things to you. And depression is like, depression has so many segments and anchors, it's ridiculous. So sometimes it's just best not to feel. It's just best not to feel anything at all. And as sad as that may be, it's the truth. And, there are people, like I said, who do know how to manage their, stress levels. But then you have people who don't, and that's another thing that we have to think about and understand. Emotions are just such a burden. Like, for real. Like they're just such a burden, and it's so much to take on. It really is. But like I always say, you know, don't don't stress over the little things, no matter how hard your situation is. It's all about that mental state of mind. It's all in the mind, really. Like it for real is. And then I'm just still stuck on the fact that you guys, Arthur is ending. Like I'm still. It's crazy how life just goes by. It's really shocking, and it's very scary too. Like it really is scary. It really is. I don't know. It's just a lot. But I hope you guys enjoy today's episode. Um, Make sure you subscribe to this podcast, and yeah, bye guys.